God says this message is reaching you at a specific moment, not by accident, not by coincidence. Your spirit has been unsettled lately. There is something you have been sensing, but could not put words to. A feeling that something is about to shift. A feeling that a piece of the story you have been living is finally about to be revealed. God says, listen carefully. Because the next call that comes to your phone is not ordinary. It is connected to a truth that someone has been keeping from you. A truth that has been buried under silence, distraction, and deliberate concealment. And heaven says the time for silence is over. Do not ignore this message. Do not scroll past it. God says you were meant to receive this word right now, in this exact moment, because what is unfolding around you is too important for you to be caught off guard. God says there is a specific number that is going to appear on your phone. It may arrive when you least expect it. It may come in the morning, in the quiet hours, or in a moment when you are thinking about something completely different. But when it arrives, your spirit will recognize it. Something in you will shift. Something in you will know. This is the moment I was told about. This call is connected to someone who has been carrying a weight they can no longer hold. A person who has known something about you, about your situation, about what was done behind your back, and who has been wrestling for a long time with whether or not to speak. Heaven has been working on that person. Their sleep has been disturbed. Your name has been rising in their thoughts. In the quiet moments, in their dreams, in the moments when they least wanted to face it, God has been pressing them, pushing them, making it impossible for them to stay silent any longer. This person is not calling to harm you. They are calling because heaven has compelled them to. The truth they carry belongs to you, and God says, what belongs to you cannot be withheld forever. This call is not random. It is connected to a truth someone delayed telling you, and when it comes, your only job is not to panic. It is to listen. God says you have had a feeling for a long time that something was not right. You noticed small things, changes in behavior, moments where someone looked guilty when they had no reason to, answers that did not quite match up, a sense that you were being kept in the dark about something important. You are not imagining it. You are not paranoid. You are not making things bigger than they are. Your spirit has been picking up on something real. Your instincts were not broken. Your discernment was working exactly as it was supposed to. The only problem was that you did not yet have the proof to match what you were feeling. This call is that proof arriving. God says there is a person who believed they had successfully hidden something from you. They told themselves you would never find out. They built walls around what they knew. They adjusted their behavior, their words, their presence around you, all to keep you from reaching the truth. They thought they had more time. They thought distance would protect them. They thought your patience meant you had stopped looking. But nothing hidden from God stays hidden forever. The truth does not need the permission of the people who buried it. When it is time, it comes, and God says, it is time. The person on the other end of that call is not comfortable. Their conscience has been working against their silence. Heaven has moved in fully, and there is no comfortable place left for them to hide. What they carry is yours. What they know belongs to your story, and this call is how God is choosing to return it to you. There has been someone who said one thing to your face and did another behind your back. There has been someone who mixed your name into conversations you were never supposed to know about. There has been someone who confused your situation deliberately because they believed you were not close enough to God to find out. They were wrong, and this call is the proof of that. God says before this call arrives, He needs you to hear this clearly. This call is not coming to destroy your peace. It is coming to restore it. There is a difference between information that hurts and information that heals. Some truths are painful in the moment they arrive. They shake your assumptions. They reshape your understanding of certain people and certain seasons you walked through. They may make you grieve a little, because you realize how things actually were versus how you believed them to be. But God says that kind of pain is not destruction. That kind of pain is surgery. It removes what was poisoning you quietly from the inside. And once the wound is clean rather than just covered over, you will heal in a way you have not been able to heal before. You have been carrying the weight of suspicion like a backpack full of stones you did not even realize was on your back. Every day, the not knowing added weight. Every unanswered question pressed down on your peace. Every moment where your gut told you something was wrong, but you could not confirm it took something from your rest, your joy, your ability to be fully present. This call is going to put that backpack down, not by giving you perfect news, by giving you true news. And God says, the truth, even when it is hard, is lighter than the lie you have been living inside of. Do not panic when it comes. Receive it with calm. It may shake you, but it is meant to free you. God says the timing of this call is not random. It is not early, and it is not late. It is exact. There was a reason it could not come before this moment. You may not have been in the right place to receive it. Your faith may not have been at the level where you could hold the truth without it overwhelming you. The person carrying the truth may not have reached the point where silence became impossible for them. Everything has a season. The season for this truth is now. The silence has done what silence was allowed to do. It tested you, it stretched you, it made you search your own heart, your own instincts, your own relationship with God, in ways that a comfortable life would never have pushed you toward. And now that season is ending. The restlessness you feel in your spirit right now is not anxiety without cause. It is your spirit responding to a shift that is already underway. A shift your natural eyes cannot yet see, but your inner life can already sense. God says He saw every moment you stayed strong when you had every reason not to. He saw the patience you extended when other people were only confusing you. He saw the loyalty you gave to situations and relationships that did not give you the clarity you deserved in return. He was there for every moment of it. And this call is one of the ways He is answering everything you carried in silence. God says when the number appears, do not let fear make decisions for you. Take a breath. Remember this moment. Remember that God told you it was coming. Remember that you already know you are not walking into this alone. When you answer, you do not need to have all your responses prepared. You do not need to fix everything in that first conversation. You do not need to respond perfectly. You do not need to forgive instantly or have a clear plan before you hang up the phone. God says your only assignment in that moment is to listen. That is all. Just listen. Receive what is being said. Let it settle. Let it reach the parts of you that have been waiting for it. The person calling may sound tense, uncertain, or not like themselves. God says do not focus on the tone. Focus on the message. What matters is not how they deliver it. What matters is that what they carry finally reaches you after the call, after you have had time to sit with what was revealed, after you have prayed and processed and allowed yourself to feel whatever needs to be felt. Then you can decide what comes next. Then you can choose how to respond. Then you can determine what the truth means for your path going forward. But in the moment itself, your job is simple. Answer, breathe. Listen, God says He will be in the room with you. He will help you hold what you are hearing. He will give you a steadiness that surprises even you. You do not have to walk into this strong. You just have to walk into it. God will handle the rest. God says this call is a door opening, not a door closing. When the call is over and you set down the phone, you are going to feel something unfamiliar. A quietness, a weight that is no longer there, a sense of the air being clearer than it was before. You are going to breathe differently after this call. Sleep differently, carry yourself differently, because the energy you have been spending on not knowing, on quietly managing an unease you could not fully name, that energy is going to be returned to you. Once something hidden is brought into the open, it loses its power. It can no longer operate in the dark. It can no longer move against you without your awareness. God says that is what the enemy was always trying to prevent. That is why so much effort went into keeping you uninformed, because the not knowing was the chain. The silence was what kept you circling the same doubt, the same drained feeling you could not trace back to a clear source. This call removes that weapon. You will look back at certain seasons of your life and finally understand what was actually happening in them. Things that confused you will click into place. People whose behavior never made sense will suddenly make sense. Questions that felt like they had no answers will be answered. And God says, along with all of that, doors that could not open while the deception was in place are going to begin to open. The favor that was blocked, the clarity that was clouded, the peace that kept getting interrupted by a low-level alarm your spirit could not silence. All of that begins to shift when truth arrives. This is not just the end of a hidden thing. This is the beginning of a new season. A season where you move forward with knowledge you did not have before, with a clearer sense of who is truly beside you and who was only pretending to be, with a confidence in your own instincts that you were not fully able to claim before this moment. God says He wants to speak directly to the part of you that has been doubting itself. All those times you felt something was off and talked yourself out of it. All those times you accepted an explanation even when something in you was not satisfied. All those times you wondered if you were being too sensitive, too suspicious, too slow to let things go. All those times you told yourself maybe you were imagining it. You were not imagining it. Your spirit was telling you the truth the entire time. Your instincts were not broken or exaggerated. They were functioning exactly as they were designed to function. The issue was never your perception. The issue was the deliberate effort of someone else to make sure their truth never reached your eyes. God says after this call, you will trust yourself again. You will stop second-guessing the warnings your spirit sends you. You will stop apologizing for your discernment. You will stop making your own perception smaller to keep other people comfortable. This call is not only revelation, it is vindication. Not of anger, not of bitterness, not of any need to say I told you so, but of your spirit, of the quiet knowing you have been carrying, of the voice inside you that kept saying something is not right here, even when every surface-level signal told you to look away. God says you were right, and soon you will know it completely. God says between now and when that number appears on your screen, He wants you to rest. Not because everything is already resolved, but because you are not facing this alone. You do not have to prepare a strategy. You do not have to brace for impact. You do not have to rehearse 1,000 possible versions of how the conversation might go. God says, I have already gone ahead of you into this moment. I have already prepared the ground, the call, the person making it, the truth they are carrying. All of it is under my watch. I have been managing this situation since before you even knew there was a situation to manage. You can trust that. You can set down the weight of trying to figure out every angle before it arrives. You can allow yourself, in this moment before the call comes, to simply be at peace. Not the peace that pretends everything is fine, but the peace that knows that even when things are hard, you are not facing them alone. The kind of peace that says, I do not understand everything that is about to happen, but I know who is with me in it. God says, that is enough. Let this be your posture as you wait steady open, unafraid, not because nothing hard is coming, but because you have walked through hard things before, and you have never once walked through them without God beside you. The number is going to appear. The call is going to come. And when it does, everything that has been quietly confusing you, quietly draining you, quietly hiding itself from you, is going to begin to come into the light. And the light, God says, is always better than the dark, even when the light shows you something painful, even when the clarity asks something of you that you did not expect to give, even when the truth requires you to grieve something you believed was different than it was. The light is better. The truth is better. God says what is waiting for you on the other side of that call is a version of your life that is finally free of the weight you did not even know had a name. You are going to feel lighter, not because everything will suddenly be easy, but because you will finally know. And knowing, God says, is where healing begins. Hold on. Stay steady. It is closer than you think. What has confused you is about to make sense. If this message has spoken to your spirit, write Amen in the comments. And if you know someone who has been carrying an unanswered feeling for too long, share this word with them. They may need to hear that God has not forgotten them either. God bless you. The call is coming. Do not be afraid.